But it's good to point out again that the former Israeli defense official told the New York Times there's a covert war on Iran. It's a prudent strategy, and indeed there is a covert war. There's been all kinds of blowing up of facilities, targeting officials and scientists and all the rest of it. So many things going on, trying to foment a phony velvet-style green movement revolution there, and anything else they could do to surround the country and undermine it. You notice the whole Arab Spring thing is really part of the build up to World War III. You can't get to Iran until you bring down Syria and Libya and kind of rebrand Egypt and Tunisia and some of those other smaller countries, and just to keep things chaotic and not too settled in when they move in for the big kill. Kind of a big deal. So they've killed here the nuclear scientist Mustafa Ahmadi Roshan, even as really the truth is the U.S. funded Iran's nuclear program. And even if they did have a bomb, which they don't, it's no reason to scurry off to war. But, you know, I know the viewers out there from this program understand what's going on. It's just frustrating that they continue to brand this false reality, and we're all supposed to go along with it. Meanwhile, RIA Novosti, the Russian outfit, reports that the U.S. is building hospitals in Georgia ready for war with Iran. There are 20-bed hospitals. It's an American project. A big war between the U.S. and Iran is beginning in the Persian Gulf. $5 billion was allocated for the construction of these 20-bed military hospitals. Javeldi said in an interview with the Georgian paper, Kerviveris Kronadi, some of those names I didn't pronounce right, I know. But the point is they're starting supposedly American military talents from scratch in Georgia. Saakashvili is leading the project. Also, they could attack Iran and kind of bolster towards Russia and China as well. Hopefully not towards World War III, but we all know that's on the table here. Meanwhile, the Iranian president is touring South America, most recently arriving in Cuba. U.S. warns of a dangerous alliance. They've also tried to claim that he visited Venezuela so he can launch long-range missiles from there towards the United States. All kinds of saber-rattling and provoking for this war. Now, will this war with Iran happen? We certainly hope not. But for a closer look on it, we have a report now with Darren McBreen.
War in the Middle East now appears imminent as the United States, Britain, the European Union, and Israel put the final touches on an embargo on Iran, and warships are sailing to the Persian Gulf.
Last Friday, the U.S. and Israel announced that they will have a massive exercise in the Persian Gulf. It will include thousands of U.S. and Israeli soldiers and will test multiple air defense systems against incoming missiles and rockets. Meanwhile, Iran will also be conducting war games in the Persian Gulf and have already launched a military maneuver near its border with Afghanistan.
Now, there's a lot of war games going on in the Persian Gulf. The United States, Israel are participating in a massive war game. Iran at the same time. Could that be a recipe for disaster?
I think there's a lot of war games that go on all the time of different sizes. I don't know if this is much different.
I don't know if disaster is the word, but I think you're not in a good situation right now.
Should we intervene for Israel? Don't you think Israel has a capability of protecting themselves?
I definitely think there's a case to defend Israel for what it is. Might not be the strongest case, but should we invade Iran for Israel? No, I think that's a weaker case.
I feel like Israel can take care of themselves, but it doesn't hurt to have somebody backing you up.
Well, it's not about weapons of mass destruction and nuclear bomb. It's all about natural gas and oil. Iraq have the oil and Iran have the natural gas, and that's what America wants, and we all know that. But the media is liars, and they tell us all lies, and we just got to go with the lies because they have the power to spread the lies.
Presidential candidate Ron Paul said the increasingly severe sanctions imposed on Iran in response to its alleged nuclear weapons program are steps that will eventually lead to war.
The first thing you do when you go to war, you put boycotts on and you blockade a country. It is, in many ways, an act of war. We assume that we have to do it through force, through sanctions and threats and intimidation and secret maneuvers to overthrow their regime. It just doesn't work.
I think we're punishing them. I think it's retributive, definitely. Whether or not it's with the aim of pushing them into open war with us,